Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. We come to you tonight with a special report. Everyone, this is GameRage. They're just four friends getting together, super drunk, and talking mostly about video games, and also doing tech support for their PlayStations. End of broadcast.
Hey guys, welcome back to GameRage. So we apologize because our last episode, we recorded it, we had it all ready to go, but there were some technical issues basically. Unfortunately, because of the nature of how we're doing it, we're still learning how to do this with the streaming, and unfortunately you couldn't hear Cram. So obviously we couldn't release it with only three of us talking. But I think we've got it under control now, so we should be able to hear Cran now, right, Cran? Cran? Yeah? Okay, perfect. Okay, good. We're all good to go. And also, we decided to invite one of our friends to be our special guest today. That was Lev, that you heard doing the intro, and he'll be joining us today. But anyway, just let's get right into it. I'm Dan. That's Tychos, Dash on the PlayStation Network, and Tychos on the Nintendo Switch and Steam. I'm drinking whiskey with a materia ice cube in it, which by that I mean I got blue curacao. I actually got a bunch of different flavored liqueurs, or colored liqueurs actually I should say, and made frozen, like, got one of those like ice cube sphere molds.
Oh yeah. Is it like one of the really big ones? Like they give you like the whatever.
Not like too big. It's only like it's but like and I'm right now I made one with the quote unquote blue materia that I put in there, which is like a support materia.
Dabba-dee-dabba-die.
And I'm just using it because it slowly melts and flavors my drink, but also it just looks cool. I can also make Dragon Balls and everything. I'm really excited to have fun with making.
I am so excited to see these fucking Dragon Ball ice cubes.
Yeah, for sure. It'll be good. But anyway, I'll wait to talk about what I'm playing until you guys all go around. So, who's next?
Cool. Me. My name's Ev. On the PlayStation, I am Booze Radley, B00ZE, RADLY, and that is the same thing on the Switch. And I am drinking a Red Bull because life is hard, y'all.
It is.
So I'm using that to keep myself conscious during these trying times. And I'm about to fall off a cliff. You guys should see how close my heels are to the edge of this cliff.
Oh God! Wait, where are you? So I can come push you off.
You'll have to look for my glowing lantern in the forest, like a will-o'-the-wisp, but like dirtier.
Oh, I actually see it.
Wow! I can't believe that worked. Okay.
That totally did work. I looked for a lantern and I saw it. Oh God! No!
Did you just fall off the cliff yourself? Jesus Christ! So we're gonna get Liz a Red Bull so she can recover from her horrible injuries, and And so what are you drinking down there, dead lady?
I'm drinking a Budweiser out of a can because I'm a classy lady.
Uh-oh. Nice.
Yeah, that's me. It's Blaby. That's BLAYYBWE on the PlayStation.
That was very Britney of you. It's Blaby, bitch.
Yeah. You better game, bitch.
You better game. I like that. That's got to be, if we ever have merch for this, besides like our stickers that we give away for free at cons, that should be one of the shirts.
Yes.
You better game, bitch. Sweet.
So I am playing. So we will. Oh, and I forgot to mention this. The episode that was lost. It's not lost forever. We will re-record it and release it. It's going to come out after this, so it's going to be a little weird, but it's fine. But I am. What I talked about during that time was that I was playing Final Fantasy VII Remake, and now I beat it. Which
Yay!
It took me 63 hours to beat the whole thing.
Oh my god! And that was only part 1.
Yeah, exactly. That was only part 1, and it took so long. And it's but I enjoyed every minute of it. It was great. They obviously they made some changes, but I think they were good. It made it, again, like its own unique experience, and it wasn't the exact same thing, but
yeah.
And for also like pacing reasons, they had to like, you know, have some encounters that you don't necessarily have yet, but they're not like the end all be all. It's just like, you know, you might have to fight a particular boss that you wouldn't see until like way later.
Right.
It's just like a, you know, but yeah, it was really good, and the way they like made the whole story and really like baited you for the next one was good.
Nice.
I really enjoyed it, and now I unlocked hard mode, and I will probably be playing through the whole thing again in hard mode.
Oh my god!
Maybe
well,
not
yeah.
right away.
Well, I mean, you don't know how long it's going to be until you get the next one, right? So.
Yeah, and essentially the hard mode is essentially like a new game plus, so I can take all the skills and materia and everything that I have, all my levels, all that. And there's still a few like side things that I can still complete that you couldn't do in one playthrough. So yeah.
Sorry, Liz just filled out a clip right in front of me. I love that they let you keep all your stuff, because that really adds so much to a second playthrough. Like, it really does.
Yeah. And you have chapter select as well, so you can replay specific moments. So, like, if you want to go back in and like jump, like there's this part where you get to the Shinra building. It's closer to the end of the game, and they have a combat simulator in there, so you can do like different like fights, arena fights essentially. And there's also like in the sector, in Wall Market, in Sector 6.
Wall Market.
There's a Coliseum as well, Don Corneo's Coliseum. So you could just like jump to those, because there's like new challenges that weren't available for the first playthrough. So which is pretty cool. Like so it'll be fun to do those kinds of things.
Nice.
But I could just jump right there rather than having to play the game all the way up to that point again.
Right. Oh god.
So
yeah, that's that's pretty great. I still do want to play that at some point, and you know, it's funny. I was just joking with I was telling Brittany, you know, Liz, how you said that you had like the Mint app, and it was like, bitch, you ain't spent no money, and you're like, yeah, there's nothing to do. Like, I'm fucking stuck at home, and I've realized that I have some like extra cash cushioning as well, because thank God, like I'm one of the people that is still working, and since I can't like go waste my money in public, I have more money to waste at home. So I'll probably once I get through my miniature backlog that I have here, I'm still finishing Uncharted 4, and then Chris was kind enough to lend me the 2016 Doom.
Nice.
And I've been putting enough time into Animal Crossing that when my friends that play text me things, I don't know if they're talking about real life or the game, because like Tori will be like, I want to send you a hula girl, and I'm like, okay, I'm assuming you're talking about Animal Crossing, but I'm also okay with you sending me a real life hula girl in any capacity. So I started watching some YouTube videos of like, you know, people with like the best islands imaginable, and I realized after the second episode that I'm basically watching HGTV, but like in a video game.
Oh my god.
So I've started calling it ACNHHDTV. And so that's how that's what I've become, guys. This is your friend.
Yeah.
Oh god, I weep for your future.
Yeah, we should weep for this North American raccoon that I just shot on these railroad tracks. He was probably like trying to hook for her family, but now she's dead.
That poor guy. And now
I'll bring her back. Cook around the campfire.
Okay. So, Liz?
Shockingly, I'm still playing Kakarot.
No way.
Literally no one. Yeah, I only have one trophy left to platinum it, but there's still so much that I want to do, like for myself. Like I want to try to get everyone to a level 100, and some of them are really close. Like Gohan is level 97, Goku is like a level 92, and Vegeta is a level 90.
Gohan's the highest.
Yeah, Well, they make you use Gohan like a lot because he's, because he's Gohan. And Dragon Ball Z is like becomes like all about him.
That's awesome. I mean, I'm sure you love that.
Yeah. It's and I'm having fun like collecting everything, and I'm just trying to like do all the challenges and like do all the side shit. So it's it's not too far from what I was doing before, but it's really like addicting. Like
I bet.
I just feel like I can't I literally like can't stop playing it.
You can't what?
I can't stop playing it. I even was like looking at a different Dragon Ball Z game. We were looking at Xenoverse 2 yesterday. And like I kind of want, and like I kind of want that one now.
Wow.
So I don't know.
Well, this is just like the show. Like you were like, all right, we're out of Z episodes, so now we'll start Super, and then when we run out of Super, we'll. What was the other one you said was
Well, when I'm out of Super,
like
I'll probably. We still have Dragon Ball too, which we're like working our way through.
Oh.
And then I'll probably watch GT and Kai like just cuz, and then I'll watch Dragon Ball Z Abridged, which is like a goof parody.
Abridged.
And then at that point, once she finishes that, she'll have to start making her own content. So
Christ!
Yeah.
Need for Dragon Ball.
Well, I was telling her how I had to temporarily pause my DBZ Lo-Fi endeavor because work finally got busy again, and I was really into like making fucking DBZ themed lo-fi. So I'm sure that she's gonna come around and threaten to break my kneecaps at some point if I don't produce.
That's true. I just need it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like it's just. I mean, luckily I have Instagram, which has like just endless, boundless art and content that people make. So when on the very few days when we don't watch an episode, I have the internet. So.
That's good at least. Oh my god. Nice, man. Good deal.
Hey everyone, I'm Lev, friend of the podcast, but not friend of the pod, that is copyrighted. I am Wonky Michigan on various gaming systems. The name doesn't mean anything, so don't ask me about it. And I am currently playing exclusively really high-budget AAA titles such as Doom, Jedi Knight, Fallen Order, and of course, I recently got a Switch, so I'm playing Zelda. There we go, Breath of the Wild. Sorry, I'm trying to have words great. Please edit my language to flow more easily. And
we want him to sound eloquent.
Yeah. Lev only had to kill 2 elderly women to get his hands on a Switch this quickly.
Yes, that was actually that was not in part of the purchasing process, but I did do it regardless.
Well, you had to sacrifice them to the Nintendo gods. It's like Nintendo gods, but
also, why is that not a game? But I'm so psyched for you to play Breath of the Wild. Like I'm excited for you.
It's a great game.
Hard. I'm rock hard.
Yeah.
Just thinking about it.
And I mean, I guess there's not really any point in talking about it because everyone here knows about it, and anyone who would be listening to this podcast knows about that game. But it just seems like they took every possible thing they could have done and made it perfect. So it doesn't do everything, but everything it does is absolutely perfect. So, great game.
Good show.
Yeah.
Good show.
As Ego Raptor would say, "Why Breath of the Wild makes my dick rock hard."
I can't believe
it's
you were
fantastic.
listening to that thing the whole time.
Listening to what?
Ego Raptor and Ninja Sex Party and all the.
Oh, I know. Oh my God, yeah. Actually, Liz sent me a link by the group that you like that does like Mega Man parodies.
Oh yeah, we already talked about Starbomb. Like immediately after you were like, "Oh, Lev likes Starbomb," I literally like sent Lev a text like that very moment and was like, "Holy shit, dude, you like Starbomb?"
Okay, for any listeners who don't know what that is, do you want to elaborate?
Oh yeah.
It's the band. Oh, go ahead, Lev.
Well, I was just gonna say Starbomb is one of a legion of video game parody music groups. They just happen to do it really, really well.
But it's made by the guys who make the 10-Minute Power Hour, which is Aaron, I can't remember his last name, and Dan, whose last name I also can't remember.
Game
But
Grumps. Essentially the Game Grumps.
They're called Game Grumps,
yeah.
and they're Aaron, what's his name, is also the Ego Factor dude who we talk about constantly on this show. So
Ego Raptor.
that's- yeah,
Well, I guess you
Ego
changed it to
Factor.
Ego Factor.
yeah.
recently,
Yeah.
His
whatever.
Instagram
Doesn't-
handle
it
is
doesn't
Ego
matter.
Factor, but which coincidentally, Loopback, I've met him in LA when I bought these shitty ass headphones.
Yeah.
So we've come full circle.
Did he break your headphones?
So if you're hearing this and think that Liz's audio is particularly shitty, you should blame him.
Yeah.
yeah.
Aaron
Send him some hate mail.
Hansen? No, that's not it.
Aaron Raptor, I think, is what his name was, right?
Yeah, that I
Yeah.
think you're right. That's exactly right. Aaron Gautier's Raptor.
Yes.
Hey, remember when we were like,
Um,
let's not take too much time on intros?
Yeah,
Yeah, let's
right
just
about
jump-
that.
let's-
So,
So I
Yeah.
think
That
it's
was Liz's
time
intro.
for
the
topic. So Liz, you got a topic for us,
Yeah,
right?
so we talked before about, we've talked so many times about like video games that we think would make great movies. But this time I wanted to talk about the reverse. I wanted to see what movies existed out in the world that we thought would make great video games that are like totally unrelated
fuck yeah.
to any like title that already exists. So, please don't make another Mario movie. Or anything of the sort. So, so
Please God.
They are making another Mario
Oh my
movie,
God.
though.
Oh Jesus! Why?
Oh.
Why don't we learn from our mistakes?
So,
It might be good,
wait, so
though. It's gonna be animated,
topic,
but
the topic is games that should be movies, not movies that should be games.
yes.
wait,
No, I think the other backwards,
it's
right?
the reverse. Everybody said
Yeah.
the
Oh, sorry,
wrong
movies.
thing.
Yeah, movies that should
No, it's movies that should
Yeah.
movies
yeah.
that should be
That's-
games.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I thought the topic was at first. I was like, oh no, no
Yeah.
preparation.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Hold on. Just wait. Okay, so
Oh,
Liz,
God.
do you have an idea for us?
Yeah, so the one that like had me thinking about this was like not even a movie that I'm like particularly crazy about, but I just like thought that it would make it's actually a movie that like one of our friends is like really like super into, which is The Descent.
Oh Jesus!
The Descent is like super fucked
So
up.
gross.
Scary.
If you haven't seen it, it's basically like these these four girls. There's four of them, right? Or are there more?
Yeah, I think there's
like 4 or
I think it's
5.
four.
There might be
Yeah.
4 or 5
Maybe
women who they have like a climbing group. They like explore caves, and they basically
Like
like
a yearly trip that they
yeah. So they all go down into this cave, and like the gist is that like they totally know where they're going. Oh no, wait, they don't, and they like get into some supernatural shit, and basically everyone dies.
Oh my God!
And there's like monsters down there that like hunt them using. They can't see, but they use like echolocation to find
Yeah.
where they are. And then there's like some girl betrayal, like typical
Typical
like
girl
female
betrayal.
betrayal, where it's just like you were talking shit. No, oh my God, you were talking shit. I'm gonna stab you in the face, like some, just like girl betrayal.
At a time like this.
Yeah, hormones ablaze.
In this economy?
Yeah. Oh please.
So, what I think would be cool is, I don't know if you've played, we've all played Crawl, but listeners, if you haven't played the
Yeah.
game Crawl, it's a super dope game. It's like a dungeon crawler, but what's cool is that you fight for control over a singular human body, and if you're not in control of the body, then you play as like a ghost, and the ghosts are trying to claim the human body by killing it and inhabiting
A
it.
ghost can possess monsters.
Like
Yeah.
you do.
too.
So I think it would be super cool to have a similar style where you're like, you can play as like, whether it's 4-player or 5-player, depending on how many women there are in the actual movie. I genuinely can't remember.
Oh yeah.
You could have like a 4 or
They're all pretty
5-player, and then you can each kind of explore these caves, and you can stick together, and you can like beat the monsters together, or you can like power move girl betrayal each other to like get a better spot. But there's like consequences for girl betrayal that you have to like weigh out. Like if you do that, like yes, you still have a body, but like you lose like a shitload of honor, and like honor
Oh my
is maybe
God.
like what fuels your power. So like you're roaming around this like thing, and the monsters are coming at you or whatever, and it's like a dungeon crawler. You're exploring the cave.
Yeah.
And essentially, like the goal would be to be the last woman out alive, because at the end of the movie, one of them manages to make it out of the cave alive.
Right.
And then she's like racked with
Spoilers,
guilt.
Jesus. No.
This movie fucking sucks.
Now we know what's gonna happen in that
you're
game.
lucky that I'm spoiling this for you. Like if you haven't seen this movie, like I'm doing you a fucking favor.
Yeah. Basically, don't go see this movie.
Just don't see it. It's awful, but but it would make a great game, because it's kind of it's got video game like written all over it. It's like a bunch of people like exploring shit, being shitty to each other. There's like some scary.
Being shitty.
It's like. It's almost like what Uncharted always tried to do with the supernatural stuff, where it's like things are primarily based on emotion, but also there's like a mummy involved for some reason.
At like the last minute,
Like nobody can really understand why.
Yeah, and I'm also imagining, like you said, that like when you betray somebody, it's like called girl betrayal, and it makes me think of that like combo breaker, but it's like girl betrayal.
Girl betrayal. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I think that would be super fun. So that's mine that I came up with. Who wants to go next?
I feel like it would
good
feel
question.
a lot like I mean, just compared to a game that I played, that the forest, where like there's parts where it can like drag you down into a cave, and like it's just these like subhuman beings, like, and you're just in darkness crawling around, and it'd be cool to have like the climbing elements and the spelunking stuff too, but like it's terrifying.
Yeah.
It's a claustrophobic experience and all that other stuff. It would make for a really good atmosphere for a horror game.
Yeah, that's a good point. I love the and Liz always does this, is like, comparing it to like like other existing things. Like I love the idea of combining like the forest with oh Jesus Christ! Somebody's running in. Who is that? Anyway,
that's me. I'm trying to stop.
I was like, I'm in like cinematic mode, and it's anyway. Sorry, we are doing this in Red Dead again. If you haven't already figured that out. I love the idea of like video game math. It's like this plus this. And then
I love Game Babies. I don't know why I like it.
Yeah, Game Babies. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Gamey babies.
I love Game Babies.
Yeah, little baby offsprings.
Yeah.
I just like watching them,
Yeah. Rub their discs
fuck with
together.
the moment of conception.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Dan, do you want to go next?
I need a minute because I am
I can go.
prepared. Why don't you go ahead?
Okay.
I can take it after Ev because I'm running a little low on time. Anyway, go on.
Oh
yeah,
shit.
no, go. Yeah,
Lev,
go ahead,
do you need to go?
Lev,
Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
go.
All right. Well, I thought of one as I was trying to kind of be funny, but then I realized I actually very much want this. So,
It's the best way.
So I'm kind of breaking the rule here because this is a item that is already the subject of video games, but they're very, very, very bad.
Lev, you've been here for
they're
like
not
5
really-
minutes and you're already breaking the rules. Like what?
what the
I know.
fuck, man?
We will not be
That's
inviting
why-
you back. I'm kidding.
That's why we have rules. Okay, so
Right.
with the exception of the Lego franchise, I think there's exclusively incredibly awful Harry Potter games.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're always
Yes.
made as it's just another advertising campaign for the movies, and that's fine. They're just trying to squeeze out some other value that they can from the franchise, and I'm not going to fault them for that because it's not like they would be developing this amazing game but for the Harry Potter. Like it's just, no.
But for.
Yeah, but
But
what I
what
really
city?
want is what is a butt for? A super like a super dark, gritty, like Harry Potter movie game. That's what I really. So, because the thing is, the series, at least the book series, is actually pretty damn dark. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
really people, like children die. Like multiple important characters are cursed such that they're enslaved in their own body while someone else controls all their actions. Like this is a
No
horrifying concept that J.K. Rowling has put into children's books. So,
Yeah.
So I want just like setting the stage, kind of borrowing from God of War. The game
to borrow from.
opens. You've got a gigantic bearded man just alone in the enchanted forest, just shrouded in darkness and danger. He's got a giant axe, and he's chopping down a tree. As Memories of Mother starts to play,
Right.
Do, 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 do. You got it. And then he picks up the tree trunk that he's got, and he starts to kind of walk it down down through the enchanted forest, or the forbidden forest. That's what it is, the forbidden forest. And then he sees another different plot. Much darker. No. He's carrying it, and then he sees another hooded figure who joins him as he's walking, and then like another hooded figure joins him, and they're all walking together until they come to a little clearing that's got a bunch of different hooded people kind of there, and he puts down the log onto something that's about to be a pyre, and lights it on fire. And then you see the hooded figures wheeling in two bodies. And they put them onto the fire, and they just sort of stand silently. And then they remove their hoods, and you see Dumbledore, and obviously Hagrid is the giant bearded person who's carrying who's being Kratos in this situation.
Naturally.
And you see Minerva McGonagall come in just carrying like some sort of weird, ornate but incredibly bloodstained sword. Because this is all immediately after the kind of prelude battle against Voldemort from Lily and James Potter times.
Right.
And the two bodies
super genuinely impressed with your memory / rendition of it. Like, I can't remember shit about Harry Potter.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So, but then you see that there's two bodies being put on the fire to be burned, and they're Lily and James.
Oh God.
Oh shit.
And then, the fire. I forgot this detail. The fire hasn't started yet. They put them on.
They throw Harry on there, and he just won't fucking burn.
Yeah, they put them on the wood, and then McGonagall asks, like, "What of the boy?" And Dumbledore just says angrily, or like gruffly, "He's safe." And then he takes out that fire starter thing that he used on the lamps, and he uses it to ignite the funeral pyre.
Oh my God.
And,
that's so
badass. Their bodies are incinerated, and then the fire spells out, Harry Potter.
Oh my God.
Harry Potter and the crying of children.
Yeah. Right.
I think that would that's like you just like pitched the trailer for this game, and it would be
dude.
You should call the game The Boy Who Lived.
Oh my God, that's brilliant.
Yeah, and I mean, because I was thinking that like Hogwarts as a castle would actually be a pretty cool environment for a video game, because it's constantly like it's enchanted, so it's constantly changing. So you can kind of have an element of those I guess it's roguelike almost. You could have puzzles that the kids have to solve, or else they will die.
Right. Yeah.
What is in the movie or in the books and the movies.
It'd be cool to play as obviously maybe like not like the titular characters, and that way the whole roguelike element kind of works, because like if you die, and you're just another different wizardry student,
Yeah.
That's cool.
And you're Crab and Goyle at some point, because they need some love.
Right.
Yeah. Everybody's favorite character is Crab and Goyle.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my idea.
Lev, for your first topic input, that was solid as shit, man.
Yeah, that was great.
Well,
I mean, I would agree, but that's a book, Lev. This is supposed to be movies.
Yeah.
It's books made.
We all know the
movies
are,
Dan.
Who reads books anymore? Fuck that.
Yeah, I've never even seen a book.
Ruining your
I don't even
Nice.
know how to read one of those things. Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be a lot of fun. And they could even have like little gameplay elements, like you eventually find the Marauders map, and that's your game map and everything like that.
Yeah.
And show you where
man.
the secrets are and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I mean, you could even have it because you're not necessarily playing as Harry Potter. You could have it like before Harry Potter gets it, because he only gets it in I guess the Prisoner of Azkaban, right? So like, you could be like the kid who had it first, who as part of the story will die. It's one of those really upsetting like gameplay mechanics where they have you fighting a boss, and it seems like you can win, but you can't win, and every time you just die, and once you die, the gameplay can continue. It'll be that.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, that's a really good point. Because I like when they do that. Like, you play a game and it's like set before the other game, and you're like, well, it's like when you watch Rogue One, and you're like, okay, well, so clearly all of these people are gonna die. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always thought that was cool.
It'd also be interesting, like, it'd be funny if they did a, like, tongue-in-cheek fucking thing. Son of a bitch, distracting us, motherfucker. Where, like, it's just everybody kind of reacting to Harry Potter. You get to see how everybody else feels. It's like, oh, this
Yeah.
like
Some
yeah.
kid.
event from the book plays out, and your character's just like, oh, this fucking guy again. Like, okay, we get it. Like, you're the one. You're the chosen one.
Right,
Like,
you're
everybody
the
else is
one.
like living like a normal, casual life, just trying to get their shit together, and something ridiculously fucked up happens. He's like, great. We're so glad that Harry Potter had to be at our school. Like,
Right, yeah. This would
Yeah,
all
like-
have been fine if the fucking boy who lived didn't go to school here.
yeah.
Right, yeah, I mean, Cedric Diggory did not have to die. Like, that was exclusively
Right.
because of Harry Potter.
Oh,
so
100%.
This is like the most popular kid at school that everybody loved.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
And it'd be great because
Now
like
he's
somebody else would be like,
dead.
so is anybody gonna bring up the fact that Harry is completely responsible for Cedric's death?
Yeah.
Anybody?
Yeah.
So, yeah, like
No, we're all gonna
we
like
get that-
still worship him with praise, yeah, as much as possible.
Right.
Great, that's great.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I mean, we get that Voldemort is coming after Harry, and Voldemort's the one who's doing all this. I mean, we're not saying that Harry's a murderer here, but at what point does Dumbledore need to step in and say, we're transporting you to a safer location where there aren't a bunch
Yeah.
of children around?
You're clearly endangering all of your classmates on a daily basis.
And stop using his name.
Yeah, right? Yeah, you
You know,
keep
like-
fucking saying it.
Yeah. Like, you act like you're brave. It's not brave to endanger all of the people around you, you jerk.
Yeah. Yeah. I
very
love that
fair,
this
very
game,
fair.
Harry finally gets his comeuppance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe the ending can make Neville the chosen one.
Oh, yeah.
Be a
Oh, man.
huge twist.
Alternate ending.
But
It's
anyway.
like, that's the good ending.
Yeah, yeah, there you go. That was a
Love
good
it.
one, Lev. That was a lot of fun.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Right on.
They are
So,
making that
um,
open world Harry Potter game though. Just FYI.
Oh, what?
That
I
is
was
That's
not
not
aware of
surprising.
this.
They are making
I'm
That's
sure
what-
it'll be bad. I mean,
I'm surely bad.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
You're such
Yeah.
an optimist.
I just... no, it's
It
just
might be
like...
good.
Yeah, it just... Are you guys pulling my body around? You guys are monsters.
Listen, what happens in the camp stays in the camp. And you forgot to mention that it's already been set twice on fire.
Yeah.
It's double baked.
You know what?
Double baked.
But yeah, let's see. So I guess Ev, you
Yeah, man.
you got
I got this.
buddy boy.
So, also a side note, Lev, I know at some point you do unfortunately have to leave us today. So, so if you have to go, we understand, and we'll obviously look forward to having you back on GameRage again in the future for another feature.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll
Um,
be excited to come back on and rage about games.
Yeah, buddy. Rage about games.
I might have misunderstood your title.
Yeah. Lev didn't bring enough rage to this party. But so yeah, I know it's just about 2 o'clock, Lev. So do you need to ship off?
Yeah, why don't I go ahead and jump off and you guys can continue
Okay.
your gaming. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Keep
Yeah.
casting the good cast, and for God's sake, get through the introductions faster. All right.
Yeah. that's our primary feedback, other than make your show more interesting.
Yeah, well,
or stop doing it entirely. That's another.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
really the most popular one. But
Please stop
Yeah,
wasting bandwidth on the internet.
well, the best advice is always eat shit and die. But if you
Yeah,
don't
exactly.
follow that, alrighty.
oh no, I will
All
not
right,
die.
brother. Thank you so
All right, have a
much,
good
and
one.
we'll
Bye-bye.
see you on the next one, buddy.
Bye,
Yeah, thanks
buddy.
for joining, man.
Yeah, thank you guys.
All right.
So
now we
yeah,
can have
so-
some real fun. So I'm kidding. Kev, go on.
So, for some reason, the very first one that came to mind was Pulp Fiction, and
Ooh,
I was
okay.
thinking, speaking of game babies, I was thinking somewhere in between like a Hotline Miami meets and then fucks like a Telltale kind of style game, because like I immediately think of like the Hitmen. You have Vincent Vega And what the
Yep.
fuck is Samuel Jackson's character's name?
Jules Verne.
Jules Verne. Yeah. Okay. This is fucked up, by the way. Playing a tug of war with Wonky Michigan's dead corpse. But yeah, you got Jules Verne and Vincent Vega. Obviously, they have their history as hitmen and all that, bodyguards and everything. And
Being 2,000 leagues under the sea or whatever. Yeah.
yeah, right, exactly.
20,000. Sorry, 20,000.
Yeah, 20,000. And so that's kind of where like the Hotline Miami element comes in. But then you have Telltale, because so much of a Tarantino story is like multiple different characters kind of going through this like deep interpersonal drama basically. And I was thinking how it would be really cool to have that like intercut with a more violent type of gameplay than is usually, well, not maybe more fast-paced, if not more violent than what Telltale usually does. And I just think it'd be really cool to kind of, actually, shit, even like the stuff that like Butch, it's Butch, right? Is Bruce Willis' character?
Yeah.
Like even some of his stuff, like gets pretty like violent and sneaky and stuff like that. And it's so weird. Like this would be a bad idea, but I imagine it being almost like a Suda51 directed kind of title. Because to me, Suda51 is like the Tarantino of gaming.
I think that's fair. That is apt.
I mean, I would almost say that Hideo Kojima was the Tarantino of gaming, but I feel like it's too weird. Like I don't know. It's close. He's somewhere in between the two. But but I think that like a Tarantino movie as a game that's like got like Hotline Miami style action with Telltale Games style drama and dialogue, I think would be fucking cool, especially Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, that would be super dope.
That would be fun.
So I'm not entirely sure what like the mission structure would be like, but it makes me think of like the kind of side stuff in Saints Row 4 where you're jumping between different game styles. So
yeah. That'd be. I feel like there's a lot that they could do with that, because like they could explore obviously what happens in the movie, but like outside of that too, and they could jump around in the different. They use non-linear timelines and all that stuff. But like they could explore like before, like Butch's whole thing is that he's like he's a boxer and he's supposed to throw the fight, right? Or am I thinking?
Yeah.
Am I confusing
that was Butch.
That with Daredevil? Okay, good.
That was also in Daredevil.
Okay, good. He's supposed to throw the fight, but he didn't, and that's why he's like,
It's also in
fucked.
Snatch, and it's also in Peaky Blinders, so it's just a really fucking common trope.
Nobody wants to fucking throw fights anymore.
Yeah, the wrestler.
What does the world come to?
Yeah, that's right.
What's that?
Also the wrestler.
The Wrestler, that movie, The Wrestler.
Oh, well, yeah, but, it's fine because he dies in the end anyway. It was by his own. Anyway,
Spoilers!
sad movie. Well, it's ambiguous, I guess. Anyway, like, you could have, like, the boxing match, that you're supposed to quote-unquote lose, but obviously as a gamer, you want to win it, so you win it anyway. Like, they could have some boxing mini-games with him, and they could even have fucking... a Final Fantasy VII remake style fucking dance scene when they're doing the twist, like
the twist with Vincent Vega and Mia Wallace.
And Mia. Yeah, I mean that'd be great. And then having to go fucking get adrenaline to shove it to her.
Yeah, I was gonna say like
that.
a surgeon simulator type mini game when you have to jam an adrenaline needle into her heart because she overdosed on cocaine.
Exactly. And then you could have like different like the professional guys that I don't know what to call them, like hitmen, I guess, but like Vincent and Jules, it would just be fun to play as them, just doing shit like that. Like that would just be a lot of fun.
Absolutely,
really
there's
varied
so much
gameplay
potential.
and a lot of exactly. It would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I can't imagine the fucking licensing costs to put all that together, but
oh yeah, it'd be absurd. It would be ridiculous.
But I think I will donate a penny for every time I say the word asshole, and it should be funded in a couple of months.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's me. That's mine. That's what I got.
Very cool. That's a lot of fun. I guess for me, and I'm not completely sure how this would work, but it is one of my favorite movies, and I think it would be cool just because of the nature of it. Old Boy?
Oh,
Like,
wow, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, obviously, like, the story is... It's hard for people to watch. It's hard for people to accept the storyline and everything like that. Spoilers, if you haven't seen Old Boy, go fucking watch it, but it's a controversial movie for a number of reasons. But just the... I don't know if it would necessarily need to follow the same exact story or if they could find some way to do it. But, like, just the idea of this badass character who's out for revenge and just, like, trains himself how to fight, like... honestly, what made me think about this is, like, being able to play through the fucking hallway scene. Like, that would be
Oh my god! And
they
not
could,
as a quick time event.
Exactly. Like they could literally... I think it'd be a great way to, like... And they could even add to it, like, throw in, like, more fights like that. But, like, just have these stylized fights. Like, because obviously, like, they could have the whole game play out some way, and then all of a sudden it pans to, like, side-scroller, and you're in the hallway, or something like that, you know, like...
Yeah.
And then, like... figure out other ways to do stuff like that. I think it would just be really cool.
I would love that fucking hallway scene to be so climactic in a game.
Yeah, and it would just be a brawler because you are a fighter. That is what he does, and he's also out for revenge.
Yep.
And just playing through the story, like whether you know the story or not, it would be interesting to find it as you go, and like because it's a really fucking crazy story. It's appropriate that we're talking about this because like. The first time we watched that movie was you, me, and like Lev, I think.
Oh shit, that's right.
So, but it's fucking nuts. And again, a lot of people would not be able to digest that. But like, I don't know, it'd be really ballsy for a studio to like take on like adapting that. Yeah,
yeah. And I feel like you know, part of the reason why the movie Parasite was so great, and I think it has the same effect in Old Boy, is that like the cultural difference makes everything sort of like foreign and more interesting because you know I think that you get tired of a lot of the same like American tropes after a while, and I think that seeing some like Korean culture tropes in a game would be really cool because mostly all we see is America and Japan, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
So like seeing some Korean kind of interactions and cultural differences and stuff like that would be really neat. And just fucking oh my god, I'm blanking on the main character's name.
Odaisu.
Odaisu. Oh my god, as a character, Odaisu's so great.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It honestly makes me think of that it would be something like the Yakuza games, you know, because they're all just like grim, scowly men in suits just like beating the shit out of each other with just random household items.
That's, you know what? Fuck everything that I said. That's the game I want, is just grim, scowly men.
Grim, scowly men just beating the shit, like well-dressed too.
Yeah.
That's the name of it.
That is all I want in this life. Just the game grim,
Sharply
scowly
dressed.
men. Just beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
And the story is so well crafted that like you the player would have that motivation to like they really just want to get what's his name? Woojin?
Woojin, yeah.
They just, you know, they absolutely would have it out for him because it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you, you fucking psychopath? Like, why did you do this?
Absolutely.
It would just be really great.
Absolutely. And I think, you know, like you said, I know that there was that terrible fucking Josh Brolin adaptation in the States,
it was so bad.
But I still think a lot of people haven't even seen that. So I think that this would be a fantastic first way to experience Old Boy because, like, you know, one of the best things about that movie is that you're right there next to Odaisu, like, why the fuck is this happening to him? And like, you know, you see like those little flashback snippets, and it'd be kind of cool to like play the backstory of those a little bit more, and like, you know, you're like trying to figure out why, like, what fucking thing in your past is like cause for all this, and it's just such a great reveal. Like, that would be such a great ending for a video game.
Yeah, I agree. I think it'd be really great, and it could be really well done. And they could flesh out the story more, just like we're talking about everything else. Like, because you have more time to move around, they could flesh out certain things. You could see things play out. They could even find an entirely new way to do the reveal. Like, like you could play as different characters. You could play as Mito, I think.
The daughter.
Yeah.
I don't remember what her name was.
I mean, spoiler, but
Yeah. Oops.
You mean the girl?
Dicey has a daughter. You know, we in the movie. She's, you know, yeah.
It's okay. I mean, we did warn about spoilers, but that could just be fun to see. Like they could really, you know, just because you're the one playing through it, they could really make it interesting and mess around with that and play around with like the mechanics of.
Absolutely, yeah.
Of a game.
That'd be great. So. Yeah, I think that'd be. Oh God, put me out of my misery. Thank you, Liz.
You are welcome.
I got real drunk and was standing a little too close to the fire.
And
this
then you got on
happens.
fire.
And then I was on fire, and then the fire was me. So.
And then you got fired
Liz,
at.
like the good fire extinguisher of our group, put a bullet through my head.
Good Samaritan.
Appreciate that.
I mean, they didn't think so at the Fire Academy, but...
Well, yeah. You know, they shouldn't have done it in the same area as the police armory if they didn't want some people to get confused about that.
That's what I said, but the jury didn't find that very
Right.
convincing.
Yeah, and yet, still serving 11 years of parole.
Yep.
Or, yeah,
Community
that's what it is, yeah, parole.
every day.
Nice.
Okay.
Well, shit, man. Yeah, that was awesome. I really want these video games. As always, I have fucking video game blue balls with our brilliant ideas.
Me too.
Balls are still blue.
Die.
Alright, everyone, that was super fun. I love all of these games. Like you said, like I want all of them immediately. So, during these crazy times, thank you everyone so much for bearing with us while we, you know, figure out how to still bring you quality content.
Quote,
I wouldn't go that far.
Big air quotes.
Right. We hope that everyone is safe and healthy, and thank you everyone so much for listening to another episode of
GameRage.
Thank all you cowpokes for listening to another episode of GameRage. You can see more of our antics on the interwebs by following our social media on Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, and Tumblr at GameRage Club. And you can send us an email about your crazy antics at contact.gamerage@gmail.com. And all of our music on the show is by Oz, except for the stuff you heard in the background, which is mostly Crips playing the harmonica. So, we'll see you next week, y'all! Ow!